You know, Lions fans, I have a bit of a confession to make, and that is that I almost forgot about the Emmanuel Moseley injury just 2 snaps into his 2023 season with the Detroit Lions. Looking back, he literally could have been the missing piece to get us from beating his old team, the San Francisco 49ers, and winning the NFC Championship game, getting to the Super Bowl, versus what we ended up with, which is a porous second half defense and other things going wrong, a lot of which he maybe could have fixed and been a key factor as to why we got over that hump and played for a Super Bowl opportunity. What a loss I got reminded now looking at the free agents that we do and do not need to sign, and I'm going to go over that in multiple videos here on this channel. The first one being Emmanuel Moseley. I think it's a huge piece if we want to get to where we want to get to, which is further than the NFC Championship here in 2024. Moseley, of course, came to the Detroit Lions with an already torn ACL, and then 5 weeks into the season against the Carolina Panthers, and just 2 snaps into his season, once he finally came back healthy and ready to go, he tore his other ACL. I personally have torn both ACLs, so the biggest question here is, it doesn't take a genius to know, will he ever get back to the form that he once was? Or even a semblance of the form of what he once was, because that would be better than currently our 3 better options. Let me tell you why statistically. So in 2023, Cam Sutton had a 122 passer rating against him. Then you have Jerry Jacobs, who had a 107.8 against him. And you also had Vildor, who had a 135 passer rating against him. Those are not good numbers by any stretch of the imagination, and we have to find an answer here. Our secondary is literally the weakest portion of our entire team right now. So I'm going to start with cases for keeping Moseley here in 2024 and re-signing him. And first of all, that is that I think he can make Cam Sutton a much better cornerback. I think Cam Sutton is better than what he showed in 2023. He was left on an island against elite receivers like Deebo Samuel, Justin Jefferson, Mike Evans, just guys like that all throughout the season. And I don't know if he's quite there yet. Coverage-wise, Emmanuel Moseley is much better, and by definition, that's going to make Cam Sutton that much better. I think you see an improvement out of Cam Sutton if we sign Emmanuel Moseley back to the Detroit Lions, and that we have a little bit of a 1-2 punch that we kind of thought we were going to get when they first signed these guys. Moseley, when he was playing his best ball healthy with the San Francisco 49ers in 2021, he only gave up a 78 passer rating in that season. And then the few games into the season with the 49ers that he played the next year in 2022, a 63.5 passer rating is what he gave up. So almost twice as good as the other 3 guys that I mentioned earlier. He immediately comes in and fills in that slot over Jerry Jacobs, in my opinion. And again, I think that makes Cam Sutton better so that all the attention's not on him. All of a sudden, we have 2 relatively capable cornerbacks. Another huge plus to me for keeping Moseley is that the Detroit Lions aren't silly. They know that Moseley has had injuries. Moseley knows he's had injuries. He knows he might go sniffing around other teams and seeing what they'll offer and talking to his agent and all of that. But at the end of the day, the Lions are likely going to offer somewhere close to what any other team is going to offer. Right now, he's a low-risk, high-reward player, and I think that could help us out in a big, big way. I'm thinking he really could have that high reward. With any situation like this, like I said, it's, can he still play to this level? Can he still play even a semblance to what he once was? And I'm betting that he will be able to, especially with the little bit of money we'll likely have to pay him going into the season until he proves that he can stay healthy and perform. It's always an unfortunate thing. I don't love talking about it. Again, I've torn both of my ACLs. I just, it's tough because these guys, they earn their money, they earn their keep, and they know how good they are. But until you can show that you can stay healthy, it's going to be tough for an organization to actually put money into you and invest lots of money into you. They need to see that you can stay healthy and that you can perform at that elite level, especially after injuries like that. So it's going to be low risk, high reward. That's another big plus. And then lastly, and something that a lot of people aren't going to speak of, is that I've read a lot about how Moseley's character is just one of a kind. Aaron Glenn really raves about him, loves him. He got injured that early in the season, week 5. What do a lot of guys do when something like that happens? They normally go to rehabbing, especially when they know they're about to be a free agent, an unrestricted free agent. They're going to go to rehabbing, working on themselves, making sure they're increasing their stock and getting better and getting healthier. Moseley did not take that route. He stayed with the team. He was a veteran leader. He continued to teach guys and be a presence in the locker room and on the football field. So that's huge, monumental when you're talking about a guy who clearly wants to be in Detroit. And because we can see that, Detroit likely wants to keep him as well. High character guys and veteran guys like that with that kind of performance level aren't easy to come by. Injuries are not. And the only case I can think against him, those were of course the 4s, is just those 2 torn ACLs. Statistically, he's better than these other 3 cornerbacks, more than likely because of his veteran leadership and his high character and everything else and his elite athleticism. He's going to be better than anybody we may bring in outside of possibly a big-time free agent signing. But any kind of rookie, we've seen with the Jeff Okudah experiment that we don't really want to go that route if we can help it. We will sniff around in free agency. We will sniff around in the NFL draft, and we will try to find depth at that position because we can't go all in on this low-risk, high-reward situation that Moseley has himself in. We can't go all in on that and just assume that him and Sutton are going to stay healthy all season. We're going to try to get depth there. We're going to try to build competition like this team is all about, and a meritocracy is going to be part of the play here. But all in all, I think everything points to the fact that we need to sign Emmanuel Moseley. Now, with all these videos that I'm going to be doing on our free agents, I'm going to rank on a scale of 1 to 10 how badly I think we need to keep this guy. Obviously, 1 being the least amount and 10 being the most amount. Moseley, I haven't done everybody yet, but Moseley's got to be up there for me. Cornerback is just a point of emphasis in Detroit. We need to get more depth, more competition there, and we just need to be better there. And I believe that the low risk, high reward that Moseley presents allows us to do that if we roll the dice here a little bit, put a little bit of money into Moseley, and he ends up performing really, really well like we thought he would when we first signed him and stays healthy. Well, boom, we got an answer that we didn't have last year, and that could very much bring us over that hump from where we were last year, which was that close to the Super Bowl. I'm going to put the Moseley signing at 8.5. I think it's pretty imperative that we sign him. Let me know if you're a Lions fan below where you put it on a scale of 1 to 10. How badly do we need Moseley back, especially considering the low amount that we may have to pay him if he's reasonable and if the Lions are reasonable. If you are a Lions fan, make sure you follow the channel. We're going to have Lions content all the time. Coverage, analysis, opinions, live streams, reactions, all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next one.